Okay. Counting the
cost of being a CPA.
That's right. Hey George, so how's your life like as a certified public accountant compared to your life before as an English teacher in Korea?
So life as a CPA compared to life as an English teacher in Korea. So in Korea, career-wise, I was at the top of my game because I was teaching university. So lots of vacation time and lots of basically I did whatever I wanted as far as teaching goes, teaching methodology. As long as we covered the book, they didn't really care how we did it.
What technology? What technology you say?
So keep the students happy.
Uh-huh.
And cover the material.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, do as you please.
Okay.
To a degree.
Oh, I see. Well, did you use the word some kind of technology or something, archaeology or something like that? No?
We just used a textbook, Smart Choice.
Okay.
And then in some majors, we created our own curriculum, which was fun.
Okay.
And then, contrast that as a CPA, we follow a lot of rules.
Okay.
So, because in America, accounting is rules-based. So, if you, J1, decide to have me do your tax return, since I'm going to ask you for your paperwork, I'm going to ask, I can't just make stuff up.
Yeah.
I have to be accurate.
Yeah.
And so, as a CPA in America, I have to maintain my license. So, continuing ed is an annual thing. I need 40 hours of continuing ed each year to maintain my license. And also, I'm at the bottom, I'm close to the bottom of the career chain.
Okay.
Now, just because I don't have a lot of experience.
Okay.
As I build experience, I will be able to move up.
Okay.
And of course, as I move up, my income should go up too.
Okay.
And that's what I'm excited about seeing happening, because then I can do more good for my family and make the world a better place.
Wow.
Life in Korea, we had a small 2-room apartment. Now we have a 2-bedroom apartment. And we're hoping to buy a house very soon.
Okay.
So, from a housing standpoint, being a CPA is a whole lot better than being an English teacher.
Okay.
Especially if you're married with kids, like is the case with us.
Okay.
CPAs in America, they can pretty much go anywhere they choose to go as far as career-wise. There are CPAs that are presidents of companies. For example, the CEO of Southwest Airlines is a CPA.
Okay.
He makes a little bit more money than I do and has a lot more responsibility. Okay, probably a lot more above.
Okay.
But anyway, so the CPA ladder, there's plenty of growth opportunities for that if you gain experience and put in the time.
Okay.
As an English teacher, the highest you can go, unless you're a humble and you're an owner like you are, JY, is to teach university.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
I see.
So the career growth opportunities are not as big.
Okay.
As they are in the CPA world.
Okay.
To maintain, let's see, you have a lot of responsibilities in being a CPA. The public trusts me that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So if you're like, George, do my tax return, you expect that if you give me the paperwork that I can do it, and you just sign and pay.
Yeah.
Get your refund.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be.
Sure.
In the world of attestation, that means doing their various types of attestation procedures.
Uh-huh.
For example, there's an agreed upon procedures.
Uh-huh.
Like I just did one for a movie,
Uh-huh.
and because the movie did their filming in Tennessee,
Uh-huh.
they can get up to 25% of their costs in Tennessee are reimbursed.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of a big deal.
Okay.
Now, Tennessee is tight for money right now, so the most that they can get is $75,000.
Yeah.
But if you tell me I'm going to do a movie and I'm going to spend money, several $100,000, and you're going to write me a check for 75, if I do it in your state,
Uh-huh.
I'll probably do it in your state because that's a discount for me.
Okay.
And of course, as a CPA, I'm going to charge you for the privilege of me doing the paperwork so you can get that money.
Uh-huh.
And so that's one level. Another is doing a review
Uh-huh.
where I check your books
Uh-huh.
to make sure that what you reported is correct.
Okay.
And I can provide limited assurance on that. And then, of course, there's an audit. So, for example, when Samsung and LG,
Uh-huh.
every year,
Uh-huh.
they should be audited.
Yeah.
To make sure that their financial statements are materially correct.
Okay.
So that investors know, hey, we can trust that these books are right.
Mm-hmm.
So we know whether to invest in Samsung and LG or not to.
Okay.
So, of course, that's a big project with lots of people involved because the books, there's a lot to them.
Uh-huh.
And there's lots of money that LG and Samsung pay to have that service provided each year.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a big deal.
I see.
Other things that CPAs can do is we can tell you, hey, Jaywa, your business is doing great. Keep doing what you're doing so your business keeps growing. Or, oh, Jaywa, you had a bad spot last month or last quarter. Let's see what happened last month or last quarter versus a year ago. And let's compare the two and see, oh, well, it's easy. Last quarter it was COVID, so no wonder you did that. But, or if you did great in spite of COVID, hey, wow, how did you do that?
Yeah.
Like here in America, the restaurant industry was hammered by COVID.
Okay.
But there were 2 restaurants that did better than last year.
Okay.
Guess which 2 they are?
Pizza Hut.
No.
KFC.
Oh, you're close. No. Papa John's, and I think the other one was Domino's.
Oh, pizza places. Okay.
Yeah. Now, why did they do better?
Oh, everybody's home.
Right. So they can't go out to restaurants to eat. So, Papa John's, Domino's, you either take it out or it's delivered to you, right?
Yeah.
So if you're in the takeout or delivery market, you'll do better.
Oh.
And they also had new pizzas coming out.
Oh, I see.
So, I have to try that new pizza, right?
Yeah.
So, like that, that's why they did better.
Oh, I see.
Whenever it works.
Okay.
So, you can kind of, as a CPA, I can give you advice as to how to, if you're doing great, help you keep doing great, do even better.
Uh-huh.
If you're struggling, then I can give you advice to help you grow.
Oh, I see. Wow.
So that's another thing CPAs can do.
Okay.
And of course, we can give you advice. Let's say you're getting a huge tax refund every year. I can tell you, hey, if you adjust your withholding, you'll get a smaller refund and you'll get a bigger paycheck each pay period.
Uh-huh.
So like that.
Oh, I see.
Or whatever your case may be.
Wow.
And of
So,
course, we can do bookkeeping for you as well.
oh, I
So
see.
you know what your business is doing.
Mm. So you're teaching English in Korea for how many years?
Total 9 years.
9 years. You taught at elementary school level and university level?
Yep. And for U.S.A. Language Institute.
Oh, U.S.A. Language Institute.
Yeah.
And you talked about how you had more control over your work because you're an English teacher. You could do whatever you want, but now you have to follow rules. So it's a lot of trust. It's a lot of can be a lot of stress, also accountability at the same time. So
Oh,
you
yeah.
can help the business owners grow their business. You can help them keep their book work, recording, and also auditing. And also you mentioned initially about um, how to reduce tax as much as possible by giving
Oh,
them
yeah.
different advice and counsel. So so I guess it's a whole different world, and CPA it doesn't just have one facet, one form in their career. They can do it can take many different forms. Some people can regular CPA work, or some people can run their own business. So I guess. So what's your plan for the future? You said you're at the bottom of the career chain. You'd like to move up. So what's your future direction you'd like to take?
So there's a few different paths I can follow. I love talking to people, giving them advice. So one thing I could do is become like sort add some credentials and become a certified financial advisor. I could also get into evaluations. So, for example, tomorrow I'm going to be working on a client that wants to know the value of his firm, of his business.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do some work on determining the value of his business.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say I'm picking on you, J-Law, because I'm talking to you.
Sure.
But let's say that you decided Lily and I want to move to America.
Yeah.
We're going to sell our business here in Korea.
Uh-huh.
We need to know how much we can charge for a business.
Yeah.
Well, as a CPA, I can help you determine the value of your business so that you don't give it away.
Okay.
But you sell it at a good price.
Okay.
So that's something that I'm interested in. I wouldn't mind running my own CPA firm at some point in the future.
Okay.
I'd prefer, if I did that, I'd rather buy out somebody else's practice.
Okay.
Because building your own business is not easy.
Yeah.
And so it might be easier just to buy somebody out.
Okay.
You know, they're retiring or whatever.
Okay.
Another option is going into corporate accounting.
Okay.
And climbing the ladder, becoming a manager or a director, maybe even executive at a company.
Uh-huh.
And go from there.
I see.
The church has auditing departments within each conference.
Yeah.
GC auditing service.
Okay.
So that is an area that I'm interested in pursuing.
Okay.
Basically, there are a lot of different directions I can go in.
Uh-huh.
It just depends on which doors the Lord opens.
Okay.
And as far as what will happen.
Okay.
I'm not applying a lot right now just because having held multiple positions in 1 year.
Yeah.
And knowing that a year from now, like next spring or summer, I can apply for tax senior positions, which is a supervisory role. I kind of like the idea of doing that.
Okay.
Um, and having some continuity so people aren't like, oh, he's just going to come here, work for 6 months, a year, and then leave. No, we don't want that. So kind of like that. That's kind of what I'm looking at short term.
Okay.
Long term, what I said earlier.
Okay. So you're talking about the evaluating the value of a business. What is that thing called? Finance something?
Like, that is actually a certified valuation analyst.
Okay.
Um,
Evaluation analyst. Certified evaluation analyst. Okay.
Certified valuation analyst.
Okay.
CVA.
Oh, CVA. Okay.
Yeah. Basically, CPA is the initial license.
Okay.
Don't think that it's easy to take that exam and get that license. It is not.
Yeah.
Most people that take the CPA exam, like the pass rate for each section,
Yeah.
most of them are about or less than 50%.
Okay.
Like the highest pass rate is 57%, approximately.
Okay.
So if you're like, oh, I want to become a CPA and I want to do it in 6 months, not likely.
Okay.
Because you have to study for the exam, you have to take the exam, and then you have to pass the exam.
Okay.
And from the time you pass your first section until you pass your fourth section, you have 18 months.
Yeah.
If you don't pass all 4 sections within 18 months, guess what? The first section that you passed, you will have to pass it again.
Wow.
So, if it takes you 2 years to pass the exam, the first section or whatever sections you passed outside of that 18-month window, you have to pass them again.
Okay.
And so many people take the exam multiple times.
Okay.
I am glad I am not many people. Because the study for the exam, basically plan on blocking out a year or more of your life.
Okay.
To just study, and working, and no life.
Okay.
That's about right.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, and if you pass on your first attempt like I did, you praise the Lord big time.
Wow.
And the key to passing, 2 things. Actually, there are several things. First of all, you gotta pray.
Sure.
Ask God to help you pass on your first attempt.
Okay.
I started praying that back in May of 2017.
Okay.
Even though I didn't take the section of the exam until February of 2018.
Okay.
And I was praying every day, Lord, help me pass this thing on my first attempt.
Wow.
And the promise I was claiming was James 1:5.
Okay.
If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, which giveth liberally without finding fault, and it shall be given him.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, so I needed wisdom to do it.
Yeah.
And secondly, if you're married, make sure you've got your wife, and if you have kids, their support.
Okay.
That they will sacrifice much.
Yeah.
While you study.
Yeah.
I mean, every Sunday I studied 8 or 10 hours a day.
Okay.
If I studied less than that, I was being lazy.
Okay.
I did my family shopping or some grocery shopping.
Okay.
And when I came home from work, go study.
Okay.
A couple hours a night.
Okay.
And then Friday, come home from work and be glad that it's almost Sabbath and I don't need to study.
Yeah.
And then enjoy the blessings of Sabbath. Because on Sabbath, that's the only time I have time for people that weren't paying me.
Okay.
And then repeat. And then before you do that, you have to have 150 semester hours of coursework. So for most people, that would mean having a master's degree. So get your bachelor's and then get your master's, and then sit for the CPA exam.
Okay.
And then you need to have experience at doing accounting work.
Okay.
And each state has different requirements for that.
Oh.
So you want to apply to be a CPA in the state that is most favorable to you.
Yeah.
For meeting the requirements and whatnot. So that's kind of how it is.
Okay.
And then maintain your license.
Okay.
By getting 40 hours of CPE each year.
Oh, I see.
So
how many years did it take for you to pass the exam?
1 year.
1 year.
I took the first section February 21. I took the fourth section February 22.
Okay.
A year later.
Oh, okay. So how many sections do you have to pass?
4.
Wow, 4 sections.
And I started, I did my last semester of the MBA program, starting in August 2017. I had no breaks from studies until February 22, 2019.
Okay.
So I had about a 1.5 year long semester.
Wow. So you need to have a bachelor's degree. You need to have an MBA degree, master's of business degree.
You can have a master's of business administration. You can have a master's in accounting.
Okay.
You can have a master's in taxation.
Okay.
You just have to have the prerequisites for the state that you want to sit the exam in.
Oh, I see.
And then for Tennessee licensure, after passing the CPA exam, I needed to have someone that knew that I had a year of accounting experience, sign a form saying that I had a year of accounting experience. In some states, like in Florida, your supervisor has to be a CPA and they have to sign. But since my supervisor wasn't a CPA, I was glad that I was getting licensed in Tennessee.
Okay.
And then I had to take an ethics exam. Now ethics is a lot easier than the CPA exam, but you should watch several hours of lecture and then take the test and then be done.
Okay.
But it's just something Tennessee requires.
Okay.
Not all states require it, but it is what it is. So that was, I didn't prepare as much for that.
Okay.
But that was my journey to getting my license.
So what are the 4 sections?
So auditing, regulation is tax law.
Okay.
And the hardest section, based on pass rate, is the accounting section.
Okay.
Or your financial accounting.
Okay.
That's all your bookkeeping and things like that.
Okay.
It's a wide area.
Okay.
And then business environment and concepts.
Okay.
So that's where you learn a little bit about IT and about cost accounting and other things.
Okay.
So, like cost accounting is an area of interest to me. It's where you determine how to allocate costs.
Okay.
So, let's say that you are a car company, and every car uses metal, it uses a machine, and maybe your 2 different cars use the same machine, and you want to decide how to allocate the costs of that machine.
Okay.
So you can say, well, let's say one car uses the machine 50 hours a week,
Uh-huh.
while the other car uses the machine 30 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to charge the machine 50% to each car?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 30-hour-a-week car is not going to be happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
They would prefer you charge based on the hours used of that machine.
Yeah.
And so if you do that, then you can allocate costs so you can know which car is costing you more
Mm-hmm.
and which car is making you more.
Okay.
So you can decide whether it's good for you to keep making that car or not, or whether you need to raise the price or whatever.
Okay.
But it's good for making decisions.
Okay. So you went through those 4 sections, and you said I-teen. What is I-teen?
Information technology.
Oh,
So
information
for
technology.
example,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, computers, security,
Okay.
making sure that you spend some money on that because we all know that it happens from time to time that businesses will have a data breach,
Okay.
and your IT budget will protect you from having a data breach. Because if you have a data breach, that costs you money,
Yeah.
maybe reputation too.
Yeah.
So you want to be secure.
Oh, I see. So first section is information technology as to how you can protect your information. And second one was, what was it?
Well, information technology is part of business environment and concepts.
Oh, this environment and concept. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the fourth one, right?
So, yeah, that's the last one that most people take.
Okay.
Because it combines things from the other sections.
Okay.
And has some things of its own as well.
Okay. So can you list 1, 2, 3, 4 like that? The sections.
So the order that I took it,
Uh-huh.
auditing,
Uh-huh.
and then regulation,
Auditing, regulation,
and then accounting or financial accounting,
financial accounting,
and then business environment and concepts.
business environment and concept. So you can take in whichever order you would like to take.
Right.
Oh, I see. And passing all 4 of them without failing once is not easy, and which you did. You failed.
Right.
I mean, you passed every single one of them without even a failure.
Right.
Wow, that's amazing. And that took what 1 year?
I was taking the exam for a year.
Okay.
I studied for the exam for about a year and a half.
Okay. So you began to study 6 months before you took your first exam.
Right.
Wow.
And honestly, the reason I took auditing first is because I had just taken that class in the fall.
Okay.
And I was like, well, it's fresh. It should be easy for me to review it.
Okay.
Because every year they make changes.
Okay.
And so there were some changes from 2017 to 2018.
Yeah.
A lot of people will take the financial accounting section first, just because it's the hardest.
Okay.
And maybe part of why the pass rate is so low is because people take it first. I don't know. That's speculation on my part.
Sure.
But you have to be a very good time manager. Because once your time is up, if you aren't done, guess what? You're done.
Yeah.
So, like, I used Lime CPA Review to help me prepare for the exam.
Okay.
And while it wasn't free, I mean, I counted myself blessed that I spent less than $900 on the materials. Most people spend $1,500 or more.
Yeah.
For $2,000 or more, easy.
Yeah.
On just exam prep.
Yeah.
But it prepared me very well.
Okay.
and it gave me a practice exam.
Okay.
So I knew, okay, you're managing your time well, or you need to do better.
Mm-hmm.
And I always managed my time
Okay.
because I practiced. And so each section you've got 4 hours,
Yeah.
and you have the 15-minute break halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
So, take that break, rest your brain for a minute, take care of your need,
Mm-hmm.
and then go back and finish the exam.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, if somebody's like, George, forget about your CPE, you're going to take the exam again, I would say, no way, no, not happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's one exam, I've done it, I do not want to do it again.
Yeah. So each test is 4 hour long, 15-minute break, and you enrolled a certain program where they would help you prepare for the exam, and was that kind of like an online base?
Yes, it was online, and I had a textbook for each thing, the paper. So when I was at work during lunch break, I'm reading.
Okay.
And if my computer's down or something, I always had a book with me.
Okay.
Because anytime I could study, I was happy to study.
Wow.
Because I needed to study.
Sure. So when you're teaching at the university, you used every spare time that you have, whether it's evening time, whether it's your lunch break, whether it's Sunday, all day. So you were studying the whole year and a half, and you successfully passed all 4 of them in 1 year.
Yep.
Wow, that's great. When did you start thinking about becoming a CPA?
I had actually thought about it back in 2006, but then I met a girl, and that changed my plans for a while.
Okay.
And then back in 2011, I was looking at doing an MBA in Korea.
Okay.
And there was no program in Korea that was had a relationship with a school in America that fit my schedule.
Okay.
And so when we came home Christmas of 2012,
Mm-hmm.
I saw in baggage claim of all places an advertisement for Tennessee Tech's online MBA program. And I said, this is an answer to prayer. So I did, because I have no business background,
Uh-huh.
in 2013, I took several modules
Uh-huh.
to give myself a foundation.
Uh-huh.
And I took the GMAT,
Uh-huh.
so that I could get admitted into MBA coursework.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2014, I started doing undergraduate accounting coursework. Because paying for an undergrad level is a lot cheaper than paying for a graduate level.
Yeah.
So I did undergrad accounting coursework summer 2014 through fall of 2015.
Uh-huh.
And then I started my MBA in January 2016.
Uh-huh.
Took 2 classes each semester, spring and summer.
Uh-huh.
So while my colleagues were on vacation, I was studying.
Okay.
And in fall of 2016, I took 1 class.
Okay.
Because I didn't think I would have time to take 2 while teaching.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time for 2.
Okay.
And then in 2017, I took 2 classes each semester.
Uh-huh.
And in fall 2017, I took 2 classes because I wanted to graduate.
Yeah.
And thankfully, instead of having Friday as my day off, I had Wednesday as my day off. So I got to study all day Wednesday and then study around teaching Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And as you know, we were coming up to Soul Sabbath morning and then
Yeah.
George back home Saturday night.
Yeah.
Since Gerald's sisters weren't there, and Gerald didn't want to burden anybody else with us, so
Yeah.
that's what we did.
Okay.
And I studied Sunday through Friday.
Okay. Oh, so it wasn't just taking a CPA exam for 1 year. You started off with undergraduate degree and master's course, and you took M. What was it?
Oh, the GMAT.
GMAT. GMAT.
Yeah, the test that honestly I didn't study very much for it.
Okay.
If I had studied harder, I could have gotten a better score.
Okay.
But I got enough to get into the program.
Yeah.
And I mean, while I wouldn't have minded studying again and taking it again,
Yeah.
I wasn't going to stop
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
So
you have
anyway,
you have to do all undergrad. So you need to start off with undergrad. You need to have a degree, bachelor's degree.
Coming, or you need to take like there's 24 hours of undergraduate accounting coursework that you need to take.
Okay.
And then you can get your MBA in accounting.
Wow.
Or MBA, whatever.
Okay.
I did an MBA with an accounting concentration because there were some classes that I could take with an accounting concentration that I could not take without it.
Wow.
So, and I wanted those classes.
Because when you said master's of business, I thought it would just require master's degree in business and then you take the test. But I guess you need to get a bachelor's degree in the same area.
Yeah, it helps a lot.
So
because otherwise you have to take those accounting courses anyway.
So you didn't have any business background before you
No.
started doing that online, right?
Right.
Wow. So you took those online courses for how many years for each degree?
2 years for my MBA and a year and a half for my undergrad accounting coursework.
And that pretty much requires studying, right? As you previously mentioned for the CPA exam. So you already had those routine down.
Yeah.
So it took a year and a half for undergrad degree, and you said 4 years, you said?
Yeah, a year and a half for my undergrad accounting coursework. I didn't get a degree in accounting, I just got the coursework done.
Okay.
And then my MBA program, I took 2 years. If you did it full time,
yeah,
you could do it in one.
Okay.
But I was working, I had family.
Yeah.
And I was paying for my coursework as I went. And that's the pace that I was prepared to do it.
Okay.
So, unlike a lot of people, they go to school, they graduate, and then they start paying for their school. I did not have student loans. Praise the Lord.
Wow. How did you do that?
That was the course that I made.
Oh, okay. So you paid off with the money that you were making.
Yeah. I paid cash as I went.
Wow. That's a good approach. So what made so you said you met a girl that inspired you to be a CPA. Who was that?
Gerald.
Oh, your wife.
Yeah.
What about her made you want to become a CPA?
Well, I had thought about it before, but the desire to provide well for my family.
Okay.
Like, one of my long-term goals is to be able to go on mission trips.
Okay.
And not just cheap mission trips.
Okay.
But like a few years ago, the church went to Rwanda and baptized 100,000 people.
Wow.
And then they said, oh my, we don't have a place for these people to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, if you're going to house all these people, don't you think you should build them a church?
Mm-hmm.
You know, in their respective locations.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I would like to do is say, Jaywalk, we're going on a mission trip. Here's what it's going to cost you
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to preach a series of meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and before you preach, you're going to build a one-day church.
Okay.
And get paid for that one-day church.
Uh-huh.
What? And one-day church is not free.
Yeah.
And guess who's paying for my one-day church? I am.
Okay.
And it's not free. It costs money.
Okay.
So we'll build a church building, and then we'll do meetings, and the Lord will do His thing.
Oh, so pretty much by being a CPA, you can have more money to contribute to the mission work. That's why.
Right.
That
Yep.
and also, so that was your motivation, and is that what Gerald, your wife, said you should do?
She likes it.
Oh, she liked that idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So your wife inspired you to go on that route.
Yeah. She encouraged and supported it.
Wow, that's awesome. So, what year was that when she brought it up?
Well, that was back in probably 2011, 2012.
Wow.
2011 when we got serious about it.
Okay. You were already married at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. So
we
that.
got married in 2008.
Okay. So it was 9 years ago, and then she inspired you to go on the path, and you put work into it, and it happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right.
So it took undergrad and masters. How many years did it take in total?
Total about 3.5 years.
3.5 years, and then another. So pretty much like 5 years you worked for.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. So 5 years of working and studying day and night.
Yep.
Wow. How was that? Were you stressed?
Well, I was just working and making progress, and I had to be very well organized.
Yeah.
And when I had a break from coursework, that's when I planned my semesters and did as much work for the school as I could, so that I wouldn't have a lot to do while I'm studying.
Okay.
And each year, like in 15 and 16 and 17, there were 2 weeks each year that I wasn't working for doing stuff for the university, and that I wasn't studying.
Okay.
And so we did our best to have a good time.
Okay.
So like in 15, or no, what did we do in 15? In 15, we went down to New Orleans and Miami and Orlando for vacation.
Okay.
And then in 16, we went to D.C. and New York and Niagara Falls and Ohio and Michigan and Indiana to see friends and vacation. And in 17, we went to California, Las Vegas and California, and saw extended family and went to San Diego Zoo and Safari Park, had a wonderful time.
Okay.
And then, honestly, that's the last semi-real vacation I've been on.
Okay.
I mean, yes, last year when I was in between jobs, we came to Collegedale, but it was always looking for work and that sort of thing, which doesn't really count in my mind.
Okay.
As vacation.
Okay.
But, yeah, we went up to Indiana for Labor Day, but that was like 2 days and back, so that doesn't really count to me.
Okay.
So, I look forward, hopefully next year,
Mm-hmm.
being in a position where I have paid time off and benefits,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd like to go to GC session
Mm-hmm.
and maybe do some other trips.
Okay.
Realistic.
Your video is off.
Oh yeah, yeah. I need to charge my phone.
Okay. So you did spend some time for vacation and stuff while you're teaching, but
Right.
um but you were constantly
Finish teaching, no vacation.
yeah, so you were constantly studying and working
Yeah.
most of the time. So did you want to be a CPA at all before you began to teach, or was just teaching your passion?
Um. Actually, I had started an accounting course.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Back in January of 2007,
Okay.
but then Gerald got me a job in Korea, and so I went.
Oh, I see. I see.
Because my initial plan was like, I'll go to Korea, I'll visit Gerald for a couple of weeks, and then we'll decide whether we want to keep talking or not. But no, just get a job here, and I was like, okay, you make it happen, and I'll come sooner.
Yeah.
And we did, and the rest is history.
Okay.
I mean, I might possibly consider teaching accounting on the university level,
Okay.
but that's not something that is near term.
Okay.
That'd be something maybe 5 or 10 years from now.
Okay. So you started off with teaching because of your wife, and you started off with this accounting thing because of your wife. So Gerald made a huge impact on your career path.
Yeah, and when I finished my pastoral studies, my friends were like, George, you're really good with money. You should do something with that.
Oh, I see. I see.
Because I always had some.
Okay.
Because I worked, and so when it was time to vacation, I could vacation.
Okay.
And when it was time to go back to work, I went back to work.
Oh, I see. So you always had this crave for a good vacation and good mission work dynamic, and this job would allow you to do so. And you always had this accounting in your blood, and people were encouraging you to go on that path.
Yeah.
So was that something that you recognized when you were growing up?
No, not really. Because when I was growing up, I wanted to be, like, I had a really good youth pastor,
Uh-huh.
and so I wanted to do some, youth ministry.
Okay.
And I also enjoyed history, so I thought it'd be fun to be a history teacher.
Okay.
As a freshman in college, you know how smart freshmen can be.
Yeah.
Some are really smart, some are really not.
Yeah.
Well, I took a class called Intro to Education,
Mm-hmm.
and I was supposed to watch 20 hours of teaching.
Mm-hmm.
I never made the time to do that.
Yeah.
So, okay, teaching is not for me.
Okay.
So, obviously, the Lord has laughed tremendously at me because I've spent more time teaching than doing anything else.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's that.
Yeah.
But I enjoy what I'm doing.
Okay.
I like helping other people.
Yeah.
And I look forward to seeing what the Lord will do through me.
Yeah.
As mission work is something that is definitely desirable. And the ability to use all of the training and education I have is desirable. Because if I don't use it, then I wasted my time.
Yeah.
And I wasted God's time.
Sure.
That's not desirable.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah.
So you taught even though it wasn't something that was in your heart, but it just happened and you taught and you pretty much got what you have always wanted, which was dealing with money, and then you're a lot more you feel a lot more fulfilled, would you say, these days?
Yeah.
Because of
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. And like I can use the skills from the classroom
Sure.
to teach people
Yeah.
how to manage their money, how to
Sure.
make decisions
Yeah.
so that they make wise decisions
Uh-huh.
rather than foolish decisions.
That's true.
Because I've seen plenty of stupid in my accounting work and
Okay.
in general.
Yeah.
And I've seen some really smart things too.
Okay.
So this kind of comes with the territory.
So your teaching experience definitely is helping you be a better CPA, and you talked about different areas of CPA. In which specific areas have you been involved so far?
So I've been involved in financial accounting, bookkeeping work, tax prep, a little bit of advisory work. Like I had a friend of mine that was starting that had a new product,
Mm-hmm.
and um, he wanted to take it to market.
Okay.
There's, it's not like you just, decide, oh, I'm going to make this product, I'm going to sell it. You've got to first of all determine who are you going to sell it to and how much you're going to sell it for, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Kind of like as a hardware owner,
Yeah.
your pricing model
Uh-huh.
goes a long way in determining who you're going to serve.
Yeah.
Um, and your location determines who you're going to serve. There's a whole bunch of stuff
Okay.
that goes into it.
Yeah.
And you know that because otherwise you wouldn't be succeeding at it.
Yeah.
You're not out. Yes. You want to speak? Then move. Go to bed. So there's a lot of decisions that have to be made before you start doing something
Yeah.
if you want it to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So things like that.
Mm. So you help with business owner success by giving them different advice.
Yeah.
Because it definitely
providing with information that's helpful to their decision making.
Oh, I see. And you
Because
mentioned
at the end of the day, it's up to them. But
sure.
So
they pay you monthly as a ongoing basis, or is this something for a short term and they move on, and how does it work?
it depends. It depends. Like if I just do your tax return every year,
Okay.
you're gonna pay me once a year to do your taxes.
Okay.
If I'm gonna do your bookkeeping for you,
Okay.
I'm gonna do your bookkeeping every month.
Okay.
And I'm gonna charge you every month because I need you to pay me.
Okay.
Because if you don't pay me, I'm gonna quit doing your bookkeeping real quick.
Okay.
If you want me to give you a business valuation, that's probably going to be a one-shot deal.
Okay.
If you want me to, we had somebody that came to our office last week that wants to start a business.
Okay.
And the owner of my firm has a subscription to Ibis World, which gives you can get a report on most any business you want to get a report on.
Okay.
And we'll tell you, here's what your competition's doing, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And we'll let her know, this is what we learned. Here's your paperwork. Go chew on this and decide whether you want to start your business or not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to start it, you're probably going to need an investor.
Okay.
And because we do tax returns for all kinds of people,
Mm.
we know people that if she presents a good business plan, they have the money, they can make it happen.
Okay.
So like that.
So you also help with new business owners,
Yeah,
so they can make smart decisions and make sure investors are solid people.
right.
Oh, I see. Wow.
Um,
And you mentioned about the movie thing that you
Yeah.
were part of. How did that
Yeah.
work? How did that work?
well, we took a sampling of their expenses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we took their three biggest vendors,
Mm-hmm.
which just happened to be a hotel and some other people.
Mm-hmm.
And we made sure that what they reported as spending was what they actually spent.
Mm-hmm.
We took the list of their 10 highest paid actors,
Okay.
and we made sure that those actors were paid what they reported them paying them.
Okay.
And then we took some different groups of expenses
Okay.
and made sure that the reporting matched up
Okay.
with their books, with everything.
Okay.
So that was kind of that. And then we put together a bunch of different information, a questionnaire for them to answer. And then once all the paperwork was together, we submitted it to the Tennessee Film Commission, and that was that.
Oh, so pretty much you evaluated you pretty much made sure that they didn't cheat in the process.
Right.
Oh, I see. Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, it was
So we don't test everything, we just test some things.
okay. Some major things.
Right.
Oh, I see. So, and the film industry requires CPAs to check it.
Right.
Oh, I see.
On a CPA to check it, and then the state will grant the film money.
Oh, I see. Wow.
So,
That's pretty cool.
like, we charge the client $4,400,
Uh-huh.
and for that payment, for that investment in us, they're going to get $75,000.
Okay.
So it's a pretty good return on investment for them.
Oh, I see. So
And
if they if they ask if they sign up for your company's service,
Yeah.
they will get the benefit.
Oh yeah.
And that's the requirement of running a film industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Cool.
Well, that was that.
Oh, I see. Wow. So you are working for a accounting firm where how many people are working?
It is me and the owner,
Okay.
so it's very small.
Okay.
But it's good. As he says, I grow in wisdom
Okay.
quite regularly.
Mm-hmm.
He's in business because he wants to keep working,
Okay.
not because he has to.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
He already has money, but he just wants to keep working.
Yeah, because the thing is, a lot of CPAs,
Mm-hmm.
they love their work so much
Mm-hmm.
that to stop doing it
Yeah.
would be almost like committing suicide.
That's true. That's true.
And like, he's 73.
Uh-huh.
Another guy that's in our building
Uh-huh.
is 84.
Okay. Wow.
He he facilitates the sale of businesses.
Wow.
But is he doing it because he needs the money? No. He's
Wow.
doing it, likes doing it.
That's unbelievable. So
Yeah.
so CPAs can work forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now other CPAs, like I met one CPA that he was like, I'm 50 years old.
Uh-huh.
I plan to retire in 5 years.
Okay.
Because then my kids will be done with college.
Okay.
And I'll sell my practice.
Uh-huh.
And I'll be able to do whatever I want.
Okay.
And he and his wife plan to travel. So
wow.
some
So
guys want to work until they can't anymore.
yeah.
Other guys want to retire early and go do other things. So for me, I don't want to work as long as I can.
Okay.
I want to work until maybe my kids are grown up and
Okay.
you know I'm fine financially
Yeah.
and I can go do a mission trip every year. Have a garden at home and
Sure.
an orchard and
Wow.
then um, go see my kids and grandkids
Yeah.
every year and then go on a trip just for the fun of it
Yeah.
every year
Wow.
and basically make sure my golden years are golden.
Sure. So that's
Golden
your
years to be pro.
so that's your plan. Once you're gonna keep working as a CPA, and once your children go to school, and when you have enough money saved up, and you're gonna enjoy the rest of your retired life, and you're gonna continue to do the mission work, and obviously you're gonna be doing the mission work and support the mission work along the way.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's a wonderful idea.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, thank you so much for answering all my questions. I was always wondering what CPA was all about, because as a business owner, I began to pay taxes, and I didn't cheat on any taxes, and it took a lot of money, and for the first time I had to pay a big huge chunk of money to the government, which I never did. I mean, they took the tax off my salary when I was teaching for schools, but when I had to fork out that huge chunk of money to the government, I first time realized how government actually makes money by collecting money from business owners and from each employees of different companies, and so I was able to look deeper into how money works, and I've always wanted to know how CPAs work and what do they do, and so you're satisfied with the paycheck that you're getting, probably way more than you used to get here in Korea.
Honestly, right now I'm doing about what I was doing in Korea, paycheck wise.
Okay.
But you have to remember two things. First of all, when I lost my job in June, I took a pay cut to work.
Okay.
So like right now, I'm earning like I got paid every week, and I still get paid every week.
Okay.
But my weekly pay now is about $100 to $200 less than it was this spring.
Okay.
And so I'm not making anywhere near what I was going to make this year.
Okay.
But I expect that next year will be much better.
Okay.
And I expect that if I'm not making a lot more money, and by a lot, I mean like at least 50 to 100% more in 2 years than I was making in Korea, then there's something wrong with that picture.
Okay.
And of course, as I gain more experience, as I climb the ladder, income will climb as well.
How far can it go up?
The average CPA,
Mm-hmm.
the median CPA income
Uh-huh.
as of a couple of years ago is like 120,000 a year.
Okay.
Of course, if I become an executive at a big company,
Yeah.
then I could go into earning millions of dollars a year.
Okay.
I don't expect that,
Okay.
but I do want to be a lot closer to 100,000 a year than I am now.
Sure.
And if I ever get up to 150 or 200 grand a year, fantastic.
Okay. So
But that will take a lot of time.
okay. So how many years are you planning on working for?
25?
25 more years of CPA.
Yeah.
So eventually you will get there as you continue to climb that ladder.
Yeah.
That's why you wanted to switch your job to this in the first place.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Because some people continue to teach English when they go back to their own country and they do something else. So I've always wondered what it looks like to switch from an English teacher to a different job.
Yeah.
And especially CPA, I had no idea what that was. So does it require sitting in front of a computer all day, or do you get to meet people, or how does it work?
I get to meet, it's both.
Okay.
If I'm meeting people, it's probably doing tax prep, like talking to them or giving them advice,
Okay.
that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
I will say that I probably spend 70% or more of my time in front of a computer.
Okay.
And less than 30% of my time with people.
Okay. So they come to you, or do you go to them?
It depends. Usually they come to me.
Okay.
90% of the time people come to me.
Okay. So what's your working hours?
So right now, I basically work like 11 to 6.
11 to
11
6.
to 5.
Wow, that's a good working hour.
Well, it's good. It'd be better if I was salary though. So I try to make it 11 to 6. I'd like to be like, 9 to 6 or 8 to 5.
Take over.
Because then that'd be 40 hours a week.
Okay.
But when I was working before, I was working 44 and 55 hours a week, which honestly is a lot.
Yeah.
But that's what my boss wanted me to do, and so I did it.
Okay. So you're talking about CPA 45 hours a week, or are you talking about English teacher?
It's easier for CPA to work 40 to 60 hours a week.
Okay.
If they choose to.
Okay. So pretty much your working hours are probably a little bit more than a professor's working hours, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, working at Symbian, it was a hard week if I worked more than 20 hours.
Okay, so you're pretty much working 2 times longer as a CPA, and probably you're gonna end up making a lot more by doing that.
Oh yeah. I better, otherwise I made a bad decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and come back. Lily will take over.
Yeah.
Hey George.
Hey Lily.
Hey, so what did you think about your decision?
I think I'm glad I made it.
Yeah? Was it scary at first?
At times. I mean, anytime you've got it's going to be hard for you to beat it. That's not fun, but the better job I do of managing my time. Like 2 weeks ago, I had I worked. It was September 15th,
Mm-hmm.
and we had some returns to do at work, and we didn't go home until like 9:15 that evening.
Wow.
Another job had a return they wanted me to finish, and so that night I didn't go to bed till after midnight.
Oh wow. That's crazy.
And they were the other job was like, we had another return for you to do it. I'm like, well, yeah, but you never gave me the paperwork to do it, and I can't do it without the paperwork. And it's September 15th. It's not going to get done
Mm.
tonight, regardless.
Yeah.
So, and the return I've done for them, I had to do it like 2 or 3 times because they didn't give me the right paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
And so on Thursday and on Wednesday, I had some CPE to do, like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And so I went to bed late. Wednesday night, I went to bed late every night that week. And Thursday morning, we looked at a house.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to work Thursday, I had a stiff neck and I was just miserable.
Wow.
So I went to the doctor after work, and then she said, do you need to rest? And I'm like, yeah, you're right, I do need to rest. Friday morning, I had rashes all over my body.
Wow.
And so, needless to say, I did not get to go to work on Friday.
Wow, that's crazy.
And I got to spend 4 hours in ER. So, because I was awful.
Wow.
And so the next week, I told the other guys, look, if this person wants to do their taxes, they need to give me this paperwork and I'll work on it on Sunday. But I am not working until late at night to do it because I don't want to get sick again. I don't want to be exhausted and miss work. That's bad. So I haven't heard anything from about that client, so I'm kind of like, well, it's up to you. What you want to do? And one thing you can be sure, if you do not pay your taxes, you can. The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world, and they can take anything and everything you've got.
So
And
you have to.
if they excuse you,
Uh-huh.
they can send you to jail
So
for tax evasion.
so you had to deal with those customers that were rushing you to do things when they were the ones that didn't give you early notice.
Right. If you don't give me your stuff, I can't do it.
So sometimes they rush you unreasonably and pretty much they kind of expect you to overwork and make you sick.
Yeah.
Which you something probably you'd like to refuse to do so next time because you got
So
sick.
you have to have boundaries.
Sure.
And you have to establish those boundaries and maintain them.
Okay.
Because otherwise, bad things will happen to you.
Yeah. You don't wanna get sick.
Yeah. Like a lot of CPA firms,
Mm-hmm.
the deadline
Mm-hmm.
is April 15th.
Mm-hmm.
If you say, oh, I want to bring you my stuff April 14th or April 13th, no, you're not doing that.
Too late.
You bring your stuff by April 1.
Yeah.
Because we have you to take care of and a bunch of other yous to take care of.
Yeah.
So, and we want April 15th to be quiet.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
So, anyway.
So it is definitely a lot more work. But you say 11 to 5 is your working hour for now?
For now.
But when you climb that ladder, that is going to increase, right?
Oh yeah.
So
a lot of CPAs work 40 to 50 hours a week.
Oh, I see.
Public accounting, which is heavy on tax prep and bookkeeping, they work 60 to 80 hours a week during tax season.
Wow.
But I do not recommend that because you get tired.
Yeah.
You make mistakes when you're tired.
Okay.
So a lot of CPA firms, like their bigger firms,
Yeah.
they are in telling people, look, if you come work for us,
Uh-huh.
you will have work-life balance.
Yeah.
We're not going to work you to death.
Okay.
So
So it depends on where you go.
right.
Oh, I see.
And corporate accounting is busy, depending on your department, they're really busy during year end
Okay.
because they have a lot of stuff to get done
Uh-huh.
for tax prep and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, the bigger the business, the more paperwork there is to create your income statement and have your balance sheet in order
Okay.
and everything, and then get it filed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of work.
Wow. So it's practically possible if you want to have good family time, uh, and you go to that specific company where it provides, or you make your own, run your own.
Yeah.
I see. Thank you so much for answering all these questions. I think I have a better understanding of CPA life now.
Cool. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Yep. Is there anything you would like to add to those people that would like to be CPA?
Um, ask God for help, number one.
Sure.
Number two, if you're married or, have the support of your family,
Okay.
because you'll need it,
Mm-hmm.
because they will sacrifice much for you.
Uh-huh.
And put in the time. Work, study a lot, prepare well.
Sure.
So